Okay, now then let's move on straight towards day 4. Day 4 is more or less week 2, day 1, right? So with this Nemo, we're going to be able to see a novelist, psychologist, first officer, and aeroplanist. The bands are Cordy, mechanic, postman, and puppeteer. Shikin choosing that hula blue out. In a team comp like this, I would say what is more or less a big question mark here is, will Novelist actually work against Hula Blue? Because, like, with all things into consideration, I mean, Novelist, in theory, he's not a bad character to use, but it's just, if Hula Blue was normal movement speed, normal hunter movement speed, then yes, what I would say is definitely somewhat doable. However, he still can moonwalk himself too, right? Just by holding that double surprise. So for this Novelist first pick, I would say from our side, it's like a test and trial. More or less, it could end up really badly here, which is why we decided to place Novelist at the middle. You're going to be able to see Psychologist on the right, not Psycho on the right, Psycho on the left, Aeroplanist on the right, and of course the first officer in red carpet. Shikin's gonna spawn inside graveyard here, and with a spawn like this, chasing after Aeroplanist first usually is not the worst idea, especially for Shikin 2. However, the only biggest issue now is we don't really want Aeroplanist to be able to come back straight in towards graveyard and to, you know, pallet camp us for quite a bit of time, even though you do have double surprise. But for Shikin here, chasing after Soba would be the right idea, or even just maybe that Novelist too. So for now, it will be a knee-jerk reflex flywheel on Novelist, knee-jerk reflex tie turner on Psychologist, knee-jerk reflex tie turner on Aeroplanist, and just a tie turner on First Officer. So triple tie turner here alongside with triple knee-jerk reflex. Shiking will be bringing Insolence trump card alongside with Peepers. This will be game 1, first half of day 4 in IJL Kowa-ish. With everything fine and ready to go, Shiking, it seems like we're going to run straight towards middle first, potentially looking for Rowley. However, there's also a chance that we thought that Aeroplanist will come out here as well, but right now we don't really see anyone towards middle. There was the Novelist here who also vaulted outside as well, but for now, we're going to be able to see Soba here as a psychologist trying to hide away. But, I mean, we did see the footprints on time, so we should be able to find Soba here sometime soon. That's going to be the first Peepers there drop down. And with that Peepers drop down, ooh, that's a white ball landed. I thought that was behind the walls, but I guess never mind. However, a mud ball and a snowball here on the side of Psycho. Just missing a fireball here. As long as we don't get terror shocked, everything should be fine. But double surprise is now ready. Shiking, it's all up to you now as we drop down another Peepers. Ooh, that's a brilliant red ball. Just on time too. We managed to, didn't really get a snowball on, but did get a mud ball thankfully, and right around now, still trying to play a little bit of mind game here up against that Psycho going straight towards the corner, that's good, but the trapeze will be able to at least follow up with the hit here. Now, Psychologist, with all in mind, we do have one last double surprise left, and that will be able to take the Psycho home. That will be stress on Psycho still, so there's a rebound potential. What we could possibly do is get First Officer to come to rescue, or let Novelist do it instead, since Novelist is, well, Novelist is a shock. If you see bottom left here, it will be Aeroplanist. We really just have to see. We really just have to see here, because we're almost max presence here for Shiking, right? With 100 seconds in towards the game right now. Aeroplanist is gonna hover in. It's really hard to actually get double stack here. Aeroplanist trying to buy a little bit more time. As long as you stick to the horn here, that's fine. But there's another good news is Psycho is able to 100% rebound Kai now, but it seems like we run straight towards middle windows just so we can take the windows and get out of the area. However, with so much trapezes left on our hands to use, that's gonna be finding that's only a red ball used. Okay, we finally managed to contain until Titan is over. However, mobile there will land on straight towards the Psycho. Psycho does have mobile still, but the fireball, we couldn't dodge the fireball there, unfortunately. Not too well. There was 11 seconds left on the pallet. But for now, it's 2.5 Cypher Machines. Shiking, really good job here from the side of our Hunter. A double down, but also from Psycho's side. Maybe rotating towards the back might just have been better. In order for RC to bring this back, or even just to get a one-man escape, you need the Titan. You need that Titan to get out no matter what. But we just have to be very careful here in the stats. So he's doing a really good job with the mind games. We went back in towards mud zone. That's good, so that will be a no damage rescue there, which is something that we talked about before with Hula Blue, right? By technicality, he is someone without a camp. But for now, there's still no items there registered, so I'm still waiting here for a little bit. We're going to try pallet camp here for as long as possible, and that will be Soba going down with a snowball. Okay then, last 3 cipher machines, 50% on average here. By the time we chair this cycle and then go out to look for our next survivors, there'll only be half a cipher machine remaining. So, you know, this is kind of where the fun comes in, because like if you see from everyone's side, there is an aeroplanist without borrowed time, nor does he have exapash, and of course Novelist here. Yes, he does have 1 novel, but no exapash as well. Currently, I'm quite sure that Aeroplanist should be the one that's decoding, but he's just a little bit worried here as he rotates back in straight towards Graveyard. Graveyard should be a completely new cipher machine here no matter what. City and Rowley here as Novelist and the first officer. Honestly, we just have to be a tiny bit careful. We just have to be a tiny bit more careful compared to the huge. For now, on the side of City, we are able to see that first officer nearby, but Kiria, can he hide away is another problem. For now, we are able to locate, as we do know that there was a survivor right behind us, so thankfully there was a double surprise there to help us. From the side of Shiking, that double surprise will... Oh, it's not nullified, just about on time here though, now that you think about it, and that will be a red ball register. So there's still 1 more trapeze left. We're just missing a mud ball here, but I don't think you're going to be able to land that mud ball unless you use your pallet spin. For now, we still do a double surprise. Do we get anything on? We don't. It's a little bit hard to do so as well, but can we get anything? Hold on a second. Oh, I thought we were able to get through, but slow. Well, that wasn't really a slow vault, but there's no knee-jerk reflex to get out of the area ASAP, so that's unfortunate. We do see Novelist here too. If Novelist just stand in between the palette, I feel like it would have worked, because he already used this color palette, so it doesn't really matter there anymore. But we're being very careful here not to get in towards the mud zone. Oh, okay, that's a brilliant flywheel from Novelist. That's good. Okay, still 1 snowball left here to use. 1 more snowball stack and we should be able to get the half damage, but Aeroplanist did get healed by the first officer, and now that will be a brilliant pallet stun here on the side of Nov. Okay then, for Orphe, that's finding a pop, but like it's been so long since we actually managed to get the pop too, so overall it's not too bad here. We're completely starting a new cipher machine from the side of Aeroplanist. We do see as well Rowley was looking at the hunter, so even if he wants to hide, that will be highly impossible. And with that, that's such a nice kite there from Novelist, a nice secondary kite there from Novelist, and Aeroplanist might just be in a tad bit of a danger, especially with the fact that Shiking is able to use that, Shiking is able to use what? He's able to pull the survivors so close in towards his chair because of move and speed boost too. I'm sure Giant Claw would work really well as well. Now then, with that, we did not get any hit on there. We will be... I mean, the more or less the scenario here is Aeroplanist used up his last jetpack, right? So what if it's possible, what we should do here is to pop immediately once the cipher machine has been opened, but more or less right now, it's a bit too hard for Aeroplanist to do much. Hopefully we do know that Novelist is actually near the exit gate getting ready to open it, because I actually don't think he's going to last on. Just 1 more white ball remaining. We did manage to pop the open the exit gate here too, but we just don't want to get over. Okay, we're going to vault over here just on time, but it will be a terror shock down. That's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate. I mean, there's so many ways you can nerf Hula Blue now if you just think about it. Like, so the survivor did react on time during the spin, during the pallet spin. However, we still managed to get a hit because of how fast this hunter's attack animation is, right? So like another nerf could be you slow down, or you even just reduce the spin speed, or you reduce his attack speed. So those are the only 2 options. But I do think, right, what Naive might try and do is to reduce the attack speed of the Hula Blue. That would be the best case scenario here, because like it worked well with Opera Singer, it worked well with Goatman, well, not maybe, well, Goldman, but I mean, it worked well. They did increase Goldman by quite a bit, but I don't think it mattered that much in a sense as well. But you know, but like from another point of view, you could also say, hey, because Goldman's attack animation was increased, that simply just means that you need to actually land your hits better. But that will be Aeroplanist going down, as our poor Novelist will be returned back to the mainer, and this will be a 1-man escape here. At least for RC, it's a 1-man escape, not a 4-man elimination. Let's move on straight towards second half. Okay, straight towards second half, we're going to be able to see FAV here going up against Aka's Hula Blue. It will be a Gravekeeper, Mechanic, Coordinator, and Aeroplanist. Our bands here were Seer and First Officer, alongside with Puppeteer and Fire Investigator. We finally did manage to actually see that Mechanic coming out though. That's something that we were kind of half expecting most of the time, because the Hunter usually would have banned the Mech. But from the side of Akka, I would like to see whether or not Mech can actually counter the Hula Blue here, because I mean, you see from a lot of Hunters, right? Mech has been banned, Mech has been banned, Mech has been banned. It's literally just a non-stop ban as well. So like with this, there's a potential saying that if you chase after Mech first and the doll is still out there, you wouldn't necessarily be able to, you know, you wouldn't necessarily be able to stop the Cypher Rush, because that's what Hula Blue is worried about too, right? However, with the Mechanic spawning in middle, Nelisu as a coordinator here spawning at the entrance to Graveyard, Apai as Aeroplane is spawning as Red Carfish, and of course Dacho here, Gravekeeper, right in front of Akka, who is at the 4th Cypher Machine bottom left. With a spawn location like this, you could say that you can chase after the Gravekeeper first. However, because of how fast GK moves and how sometimes you do get confused when he starts looping you, I would say GK is a little bit of a harder chase. You might as well just go for Nerisu or Apai, the Cordy or the Aeroplanist if it is possible. But with that, we're going to be able to see the persona here with a triple Titaner on the Gravekeeper, Coordinator, and Aeroplanist. However, we cannot forget that Cordy also brought Knee-Jerk Reflex alongside with Aeroplanist here with that flywheel. No borrow time on the 3 survivors here, Mechanic, Cordy, and Aeroplanist. And of course, Mech, Flywheel, and Knee-Jerk Reflex, no Titaner, no borrow time. Akka will be bringing Chunga Detention, Atomic Excellence, alongside with Peepers. This will be Orsi versus FAV here. Currently, the last game was 3-man elimination. This game, Akka needs to return a 3-man elimination in order to tie up the game, or the survivors of FAV will be able to take game 1. Righty, so we're looking to go straight towards Dacho here, who is playing Gravekeeper. For Gravekeeper's rotation, if you can get towards middle, it would be nice. However, it seems like the first pallet drop down there was more or less something that we want to say about. Oh, wait a second, we cancelled it. We cancelled. Oh no, that is really bad. Oh, okay, that's a good pallet stun. However, because of the fact that the shovel was cancelled, you only have 1 shovel remaining here. That is pretty bad, especially when you're just missing one last red zone. And not only that, if Akka wants to, I don't think Akka will, but if Akka wants to, he can wait until GK shovel is over to apply that red ball, but I don't think he wants to do so because he's a little bit worried that it'll actually expire. So right now we're trying to get some double surprise on towards this. Okay, GK got up, that's nice. We didn't really get any other thing aside from a mud ball there, thankfully. But even with that in mind, it's just still so fast. Ooh, the red ball didn't land. Akka was a little bit slow there on the attack. However, we do have trapeze. Do we want a trapeze? Do we want a trapeze? We will trapeze over right now. We have a red ball and a snowball here left to use, but we're going to double spin our pallet. That will be a 51-second down on Gravekeeper. I would say more or less, I know that if you manage to cancel the animation on a survivor's items, it does get fully consumed. But for Gravekeeper's point of view, it just felt like he got caught off guard there a little bit too much. But it's also Gravekeeper's fault at the same time, right? So with this, we're going to be able to see Aeroplane is coming. We do have 3 tie turners here after all, two since GK's on the chair. But preferably speaking, if you can no damage rescue, that's what you should be aiming for. So right around now, that's going to be Aeroplanist. You're going to have to hover out, my friend. You're going to have to jetpack out. Oh no, that's a double hit. The only big issue now is Dacho has nowhere else to go, and that's Dacho, an immediate second pop. There was no rebound kite potential there at all. Unless the Gravekeeper there had an extra shovel to use, then yes. Okay, it's no problem now for you to get double down. But now, it's a cumulative 3 Cypher Machines, but like realistically 2.5. Why? Because one survivor needs to come in to rescue, the other survivor needs to decode. Even if you do say there's a mech on the field, I mean, thankfully there's a mech on the field and the mech stall is now healing the Aeroplanist, right? But like, even with all that in mind, it's still just kind of a little bit too slow. Because like, let's just say Cordy comes in to rescue. Cordy gets a 20-second tie turn out. Yes, great. What do? We can A, gun, or B, just run and get double down and save the gun for endgame. But like, if you gun, there's no way you can rebound kite. I mean, Cordy... If Cordy had the gun there, there's nothing Cordy can do. Cordy really had the gun there, but Cordy will just be facing down a double down scenario. That's gonna be a red ball there finally applied. We're waiting for a mud ball there. Mud ball. Ooh, that hits! Oh lord, that hits. Akka has trapeze. Akka has double surprise. Do we manage to land the hit? We got a mud ball on towards GK. We got a snowball on towards GK. Oh lord. Oh lord, we're gonna be able to trapeze over. We have 1 more trapeze left, but I think our pallet spin is ready. Yeah. and that'll just be another double down. So with that in mind, thankfully, because of the mech, we're able to decode and heal at the same time, so that's going to be 3.5 Cypher Machines done here from the side of Survivors. Cordy did manage to full heal here too. Cordy is in danger, especially where Akka is rotating right now. It's only one double surprise for us to actually locate where Cordy is, and it does seem like we know where Cordy is as of now. Netsu's trying to hide away, but I don't think that's possible after all. We did see the blue sticker on the ground. Cordy will be found here, and that will be a peeper's drop down just to secure this Cordy. Now, there's 2 half Cypher Machines remaining. Mech Stall is not going to be able to contain for that long. Oh, that hits! Hold on, we're gonna revise. We're gonna go back to that. So what did we get? We got a mud ball, and we got a. Oh, how does that work? There's a pallet in between. It's either that I don't understand something, or that's buggy code. That could 100% be buggy code. That could be. You know what that could be? That could be like BQ's mirror. Just denies the whole pallet range. That might be something I don't know. I might need to check that out in customs. However, right around now, for Akka, we did drop down the. We did drop it down, but Mech Stall is decoding quite a lot. Thankfully, we need a one-man escape here. Right, Appa is going over to decode a completely new Cypher Machine. Mech, on the other hand, is very closely towards middle here too, and we're using the. Excuse me, and we're using the Bosch. The new Cypher Machine will be decoded here. Mech Stall has to come in to give tinnitus. That's the max that the doll can do. But we hit it inside. We hit it inside the cage. I feel like Mech is on her way to rescue from the back end. We should be able to get at least. No, we can't. We can't. I feel like Aeroplanes is decoding a little bit slower here compared to the usual. Even with accelerated decoding, that's a tiny bit slow. I guess it's also because that he started decoding when Cordy was like almost 25% on share progress. So if it was immediately, then yes, it will work. But now we're going to teleport over here looking for Aeroplanist. We do have quite a few jetpacks left, so we're going to hover away here first. But like, look, Trapeze is the biggest issue of it all. Trapeze is really the biggest issue of all. We're able to land that hit finally, but that's going to be a double hit down. Wow. So apparently you can hit Survivor past the pallet. Apparently that was a thing. So even if you try the pallet stun, it's not doable at all. That might be a little bit too much here. And I do feel like that's more or less buggy code. So from the side of Akka right now, that is just really unfortunate for FAV Survivors. Right around now though, last Cypher Machine is at 95%, but we don't have borrow time here, and I don't think we can decode too. So that will be, ooh, didn't get hit. So that will be a 4-man elimination for the side of RC. Wow, that's a good pallet stun, but even if you want to go over to open up that Cypher Machine, a little bit unfortunate, you hit a little bit too early there, and that will be Felix going now. Let's congratulate the 4-man elimination here for Akka. Moving on.